Okay, let's see. Who do we have on board tonight? Hi, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome. Welcome to Health Talk with Kemi. And most importantly, welcome to Feminine Health Uncovered. And tonight we'll delve deep into feminine health. We'll talk about menstrual tips, talk about hygiene tips for every female as well. So I encourage, please, wherever you got this link from, can you please repost, share, and let everyone know that we are live and it's time for Feminine Health Uncovered. Kind of repost on your status, any group you got the link from, and let's tell everyone that we are live and it's going to be an amazing session. I already seen us Adeyoju at the back end, already looking very good and prepared for the session tonight. But before I bring her up, I need everyone to at least get a friend, and let's have an amazing live session together. And this topic was put together by Health Talk with Kemi. Health Talk with Kemi is a global platform, a global YouTube platform that is designed to empower both male and female on how to make healthy decisions, because I believe that you cannot make decisions if you are not empowered to. So here at Health Talk with Kemi, we teach, we make complex health information accessible to everyone, and we also teach via our short videos and via our live sessions as well. So if you are a first timer joining the session tonight, I say welcome. Thank you for clicking the link and for joining us here tonight. But it doesn't end there. Please click on the subscribe button so you can be a subscriber and get notified whenever we upload the new video or whenever we have a live session coming up. And if you have subscribed before and this is like your 10th time, fifth time, fourth time, third time, thank you for joining tonight. God bless you. Thank you for always being here. So I would love to meet everyone that is connected right now. Kindly state your name and where you're connected from. Let's get to meet you. Kindly state your name and where you are connected from. Let's see the comments coming in, because I have a big announcement right after I take the name and the introduction. I have a big announcement for everyone listening to me tonight. So let's get to meet you. My name is Omolenyo Oluwakemi, as you already know, and I'm your host for tonight. So let me get to meet you. Where are you connected from? Where are you listening from? Where are you joining in from tonight as well? Just type out in the chat box so I'll see it when you send the comment. Okay. I see that two people are connected. Can you kindly tell me where you're connected from? I would love to welcome you. Even if we can't see each other physically, I would love to give you a warm online welcome. Okay. I see you. Orapis. Good evening. Nice to have you on board and thank you for being here tonight. Hi, Orapis from Osun State. Thank you for joining in tonight. It's so glad and awesome to have you here tonight. Thank you for joining. What else do we have in the house tonight? What else do we have in the house tonight? Let's see you. Let's see you. If you are here and you are connected tonight, let's see you. All right, thank you. I think I should just make the announcement right before I bring up the O, so we do not take too much time. Sometimes in the month of July, I put out a flyer called Unpack Tuesday, and Unpack Tuesday was designed for every youth, be it a young adult, a student, a youth copper, a university graduate, as long as you are in your young adult stage. It was put together for you so that you can share and let go of some things you have on your mind. Now, this program was designed and put together for everyone to learn and to benefit from you as well. So if you are a young adult and you feel like you want to come up and discuss things that has gone or happened to you and you've learned from, right? It's not like we're trying to tell you to tell us the battles you're fighting, but it's just like you telling us a story of probably when you were in school, whatever you faced with friends, what you faced while you were in school, anything that you did. We just love to hear you come up and just tell us things that you went through and how you were able to overcome. Probably you were dealing with financial issues while you were at school and you were able to overcome that. Probably you had friends issues you were able to overcome. We want to learn from you. So it is called Unpack Tuesday, and I will have the flyer to the stage right now. Here is the flyer. Unpack Tuesday. It is scheduled to hold every Tuesday. So please, if you are interested or if you've been interested in joining this program, just send a message. Oh, sorry, hold on. Just send a message. I think a link was put out. Just click on the link. And if you don't want to go through the process of link, because I know some people don't want to go through the link process, just reach out to me and I will bring you on board. It would be so nice to have you as our guest for the day, sharing and telling us different things that you really think that you want the world to know. Some people might be financial issues, some people might be exams, some people might be when you were in school, maybe you have to repeat a class, now you're doing so well, maybe you went through something at your place of work. It's just like a time to unpack, to rewind, to chill, to relax once again. So we cannot wait to have you. I think the guest is having network issues because she's no longer at the back end. So I think she has some network issues. I think we have to wait for her to come up right back. We'll speak to every network today. Please cooperate. Speak to every network today. Please cooperate. So please, if you've been interested or you know someone that will be interested in coming on board for the Unpack Tuesday, there is a gift or a present for everyone that comes up. And we also have like an amazing time together. I ask you questions, you respond, tell us life lessons you've learned while at school, at your place of work. Just like a time to just, when you just grab your popcorn and just relax and say, all I want to do tonight is just relax. That's that kind of moment. So we'd love to have you on board. We'd love to welcome you. I would love to have you on this amazing show. If you would be interested, kindly send me a DM or send a message or just show your interest by being in my DM. I would appreciate that so much. Okay. I'm sorry, please. Can we just hold on? Looks like the guest is trying to log in back. The network took her out. Okay. All right. So till we get the guests back up, can we just discuss female to female? What are the feminine health that you think that most people are going through, and you actually love us to just talk about? I've seen too many videos on TikTok. I've seen clips on TikTok, and I've had people on TikTok say, "Oh, the private part of a female to smell like strawberry, vanilla." And I'm wondering that have they changed the biology curriculum that we did while we were in school? Because sometimes I'm like, where are people picking up this information from? And it just makes me, should I say, more conscious that if we do not pitch our truth on people, people will pitch their lies. So if we, as shall I say, medical professionals, do not come out and speak the truth, people would pitch their lies. People would say so many lies. And human beings are just, it's easy to just gravitate towards anything that you hear. I think that's one issue that we have, and that's why we are coming out tonight to discuss feminine health in total. Right, how should a private part smell? What should it look like? I've seen different clips. They'll tell you to take cocoa, take this, take that, so that it will have this particular look, it will smell particular way. And I'm just like, who is teaching all of you small children all these things you are coming out to say? Okay, hi. And that's why tonight we'll discuss in full details. Please let's pray that our guest network operates with us tonight. In full details, it will be discussed. Can I hear now? Okay, you are on stage, Nurse Adeyanju. Can you hear me, please? All right, Nurse Adeyanju, I'll bring you on stage in the next 2 minutes. I saw you already. That's why I brought you up. All right. Hi, hi, Tolani. Nice to meet you, dear. Good evening, and thank you for joining. Good evening. I think our guest is here now. I see her at the back end. So I will bring you up in the next 2 minutes. All right. Hope we are ready for the session tonight as we discuss feminine health uncovered. Let me just do a brief introduction of our guest speaker tonight. Daramola Faridat Adeyonju is a registered nurse, a registered midwife, and a registered public health nurse with a Bachelor of Nursing Science degree from the prestigious Ladoke Akintola University of Technology, also known as LAUTECH in Nigeria. She co-founded Care to Lead, a non-profit organization with the mission to empower nurses for leadership and governance. She also delivers high-quality kitchen and household items to her customers across Nigeria. Aside from her career and business, Damola fancies public speaking, research, technology, and personal development. She also likes to read and bake in her spare time. Our guest tonight is a full package. You know, when they say full package, it must not end at nothing. As you do nothing, you do baking, you do tailoring, you do technology, you do everything, Joy. That's our guest tonight. She is jack of all trades and master of all. Yes. So join me in welcoming as I bring up Nurse Farida Adeyonju to take us on the feminine health uncovered session tonight. Please drum rolls as I bring her up. You're on stage now, Nurse Adeyonju. Over to you. Thank you. But can you try to unmute? Okay, yeah.
Okay. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, great. Thank you so much. So good evening, everybody. My name is Damola Adeyonju, my registered nurse. So tonight I'm going to be talking about feminine health uncovered. So when we talk about feminine health deals with holistic care for the human's body. Okay, every part of a woman's body deserves attention. So when it comes to feminine health, for tonight's discussion, I'm going to be classifying it into two. So we're going to be talking about the skin care, the general body care, and vulva and vagina care. Okay. Okay, so feminine health, hygiene is very important. It's you eliminate or ingest. So what you take in is very important. For females, we have to be well focused on our gut health. And for that, I'm going to be giving tips on healthy diets, like eating fruits that are rich in probiotics, prebiotics, and taking essential supplements. So for healthy diets, we know like having your balanced and adequate diet, foods rich in protein, like all the classes of food, carbohydrates, vitamins, minerals, and taking adequate amounts of water. So when it comes to probiotics, so probiotics, example of that are rich in probiotics are yogurt. Prebiotics, prebiotics are the foods that you're eating for prebiotics. The good bacteria in your body, they feed on the prebiotics. So it's essentially like you are feeding the good bacteria of your body to do more work so that they can keep the body free from infection. So now to feminine hygiene itself. Feminine hygiene is more than intimate area care. So it's holistic body care. Every part of your body deserves attention, like I said. Then when it comes to that, there are like four things that you need to do essentially. So it's washing, that's bathing, exfoliating, moisturizing, and protection from UV rays. So when it comes to washing, a lot of people tend to miss out on some areas when it comes to washing. Places like your underbust, your hair, especially behind the ears. People miss out the navel sometimes. So the back of the neck, those are like the places that are often missed out on. So when you're bathing, you need to pay more attention to those places. So exfoliating, when it comes to exfoliating, you need to shed, like it's like manually removing your dead skin cells. Okay. So especially in big areas of your body, like your knee, your elbow, like that. So for moisturizing, especially if you have dry skin, everybody needs to moisturize, but you need to like double moisturize if you have dry skin. So moisturizing keeps your skin looking smooth and nice and fresh. So for protection against UV rays, what you need to do is to use sunscreen. It's as simple as that. Preferably a sunscreen that has an SPF of 50. So I'm going to be debunking some myths as I talk along. So when it comes to body odor, some people have this impression, or some people have this idea. I want to start the idea that body odor starts from birth. So some people have the idea that if you have a child and at birth, you don't bathe the child at birth, that the child is going to grow up having body odor. I really don't know who came up with that, but it's entirely false. So body odor, if you have a poor skin hygiene, you can have body odor. So what causes body odor essentially is the breakdown of sweat by bacteria. So the sweat itself does not have a characteristic smell, but the glands in some part of the body, especially your armpit and in your groin area, the sweat, the glands that are in those areas, the kind of sweat generates, the kind of sweat that they generate is rich. It contains fats, contains proteins. So when bacteria acts on the sweat, particularly in those areas, it tends to generate an odor. But aside from poor hygiene, some other things could cause body odor. Some other things could cause body odor. Things like if you have a condition, an underlying condition that can cause body odor. If you some medications can cause body odor. Stress. Now, for stress, if you are someone that goes through, like if you are someone that sweats a lot, you need to take extra caution, because you need to make sure that you cleanse yourself properly, especially if you sweat a lot. Now, applying okay, go to the next slide, please. Applying perfumes. The next one. Okay, yeah, we are here. So applying anti-deodorants, antiperspirants are good. However, they don't remove body odor. That's like you're going to make the body odor worse if you're going to make the body odor worse if you think that using perfume to cover up your smell is the right thing to do. So what you need to do is to cleanse, like I've said, moisturize, protect yourself using sunscreen. Then you can apply your fragrance after that. So the fragrance is to help you. The fragrance will enhance your natural smell. It is not to cover up body odor at all. So then I'm going to move to hair care. Can you please go to the next slide, please? So the hair care, when it comes to hair care, every part of our body has hair. So starting from the scalp, the body, and even the intimate area. And now there's another myth about hair. Some people believe that if you don't shave, that you are dirty. That is not true. So shaving or hair removal, let me just use the broad term, hair removal does not have a medical significance itself. It's more of a voluntary thing. Like you can choose to remove your hair, but it is not a medical, it has no medical implication. So when it comes to scalp hair, you are not supposed to keep hair more than 6 weeks before you losing it. What you need to do, clean, moisturize, oil from the roots. From the roots, very, very important, because some people just take care of the hair and they miss out on the scalp. Meanwhile, the scalp also needs to be oiled, because you wash and deep washing and moisturizing. So you can also adapt protective hairstyles to protect your hair from breaking. So body hair, like I said, serves a protective function. And when you want to remove your hair, or I said it's something that is voluntary, has no medical indication. But if you want to remove your hair, it's fine. There are options to remove your hair. You could shave, you could wax, and you could go for laser application. Now, when it comes to shaving, especially, some people make a lot of mistakes. So part of the mistakes that are made is to shave dry. So when you are shaving dry, it's like you are combing your dry hair. Like imagine combing your hair dry without water or anything moisturizing. It's more the pain and everything. You are doing more damage to the hair than good. So shaving dry is one of the big mistakes people make. So you could apply a shaving cream, or say should I say soap or something to make it well on the skin of it before using double blade. Using a double blade, as it sounds, you are doing, because using a dull blade will lead to you shaving one area more than once. So when you are shaving, you're not supposed to go over and over on a particular skin, like on a particular area. So you're supposed to, it's something that when you go straight in one stroke, you're supposed to like be able to remove a number of hairs. So going back and forth on a particular spot to remove your hair could cause skin irritation. And applying too much pressure, that's to skin irritation. Then skipping exfoliation. If you are not exfoliating your skin, so the thing with exfoliation is, especially if you have sensitive skin, you're supposed to exfoliate your skin like 2 days before or 2 days after shaving, because it will prevent ingrown hair. So ingrown hair is when your hair is protruding out of, it's like your hair wants to protrude out of the skin, but it's now like under the skin. So it will have a little bump, and it's usually a sign of irritation. So, and when you want to shave again, there is no point straightening the skin. Like you can just shave without straightening the skin. You're also doing damage to the skin by doing that. Now, shaving opposite degree. Shaving opposite degree is Now, the grain itself means the position the hair falls. So now, say this part, the hair is coming this way. Now, if you are shaving in the opposite direction, that's shaving against the grain. Now, shaving against the grain gives a smooth feeling. Like when you shave against the grain, it gives a smoother skin, like it removes more hair. However, it causes skin irritation. So you could shave along the grain, or you could shave along the grain. That's the best you can do. So you have to take extra caution if you are shaving opposite the grain. Then exercising after waxing. So people use wax to remove hair, wax also gives a smoother feeling of hair removal. Like it gives a smoother skin after waxing because it removes the hair from the roots. Unlike shaving that only cuts the hair at the surface, waxing removes the hair from the roots. So, but it is painful. Waxing is painful. So you're not supposed to exercise after waxing. Now, when you wax, like I said, you're removing the hair from the roots. So it's like you are removing the hair from the space it occupied. So you are leaving behind a small hole, so to speak. It's like a hole, a tiny hole. So you are leaving behind holes. So when exercising after waxing, when you're sweating, you tend the bacteria and everything goes into those holes, those tiny air follicle spaces. It fills that space and it can also cause irritation to your skin. Next slide, please. So I'm going to be moving to the other parts of the lecture. I said it's going to be about the general body care and vulva and vaginal care, and we've talked about the general body care. So for the vulva and vaginal care, now if you if you believe that everything down there, all the structure you have down there is your VJ, then you're wrong. The vagina itself is different from the vulva. The female reproductive system is into two, the internal and the external genitalia. So for the external genitalia is what you're seeing on this picture. The external genitalia is called the vulva, and it has some structures. So your clitoris, your labia majora minora, mons pubis, vestibule. Those ones are part of the external genitalia. Now, the opening of the vagina, which is a part of the internal, is seen on the external as well. So it's like the vagina itself. Okay, let me talk about the internal genitalia first. The internal genitalia has the vagina, the uterus, which is also called womb, then the fallopian tubes and the ovary. So the opening into the vagina is seen on the vulva, which is the external genitalia. But that doesn't make the vagina an external organ; it is internal. So the vulva itself is a delicate skin. The mons pubis is the area where you have hair. So it's delicate skin, and it should also be washed and cared for using water and not fragrant soap. Now, when it comes to cleaning your vulva, just keep two things in mind: clean and dry. Keep your vagina or keep your vulva clean and dry. That is the most important. Just have those two things in mind. They're very important. So when should you clean yourself? You should clean yourself after using the restroom. Either you peed or pooed, whatever, you need to clean yourself. And in my opinion, Using just a toilet paper is not enough to clean yourself. You need to use water. Then after using water, you can use a toilet paper to pat yourself dry.
Okay, our guest has a little bit of network issue, connection issue. So please just hold on till she comes back on. I believe she'll be back on very soon. She has network, amazing network, as you can see. I believe she should be back up very soon. So she was talking about vulva and vagina care, and this is very important for every female. You know, so people go to the toilet, like whenever you use the restroom, it's very, very important that you clean yourself up. It's not okay to, if even if you just pee, it's not okay to just pee and dress up and say that you are doing well. You are not doing well in that aspect. It is best to clean up. Now, some people use the toilet paper to clean up. That's okay, but the best and recommended way to clean up after using the toilet, even if you just pee, is using water. And do not forget, whenever you want to clean up after using the toilet, either you pee or you do the other thing, if you want to clean yourself, it is best recommended that you clean from, like, you don't clean from the anus down to the vulva or vagina area. You clean from the vagina down to the anus, because it is believed that to prevent infection, you know that the vagina and the vulva is like an opening. So to prevent infection from, swimming down into that area, so we say you clean from inside outside, not outside inside. I think I see her back. It's not Adeyonju back. I think I see her. Let me just bring her up so she can continue. You're back on stage now.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much. Apologies for the network glitch. So, and when you're cleaning yourself, when you're cleaning your vulva, it's important that you clean your vagina and your anus separately. You don't clean them together, because that way you can wash back any bacteria. So you need to clean separately, and when you're wiping, you wipe sexual activity, penetrate or not. You need to clean. And it is very important that you get the vagina itself does not need to be cleaned or cleansed. You're not supposed to do anything to the vagina. You only need to take care of the vulva, because the vagina itself is self-cleansing. It washes itself, does not need you to do anything to it. So it is important that you get familiar with your body. Like, it is very important. So when you are seeing something, feeling something that is different from what you used to feel, you know it's something usual. So it's part of, like, knowing how to care for yourself. What works for you might not work for you. So everybody needs to know their body down to your intimate area. You know, how it smells, how it looks, how it feels. You need to know. Then you need to be extra careful with your female area. If you are on period, you are going, and if you're pregnant, then and if you're sexually active as well. So for the pubic hair also follows the hair, your body hair, also or trim.
Network took Nurse Adeyoju out again. Please bear with us tonight. Looks like the network is quite amazing at her side. Please bear with us tonight. So she was talking about how to clean the vagina and the vulva, and the next slide is talking about what alters the natural vagina microbiome. And this is very important because the vagina has its natural pH. And that's why we say all the time that do not use soap to wash the vagina. I've seen people come on TikTok and say, you know what, use soap. In fact, they will tell you the kind of soap to use. But I would say do not use soap so as not to alter the normal pH of the vagina, because that can lead to dryness. It can lead to the vagina being dry. Then it can also lead to itching and also lead to inflammation. So it is not advisable to use soap in cleaning the vagina. The vagina cleanses itself, and all you have to do is just to use water to clean the vagina. So now, what are the things that can alter the natural vagina microbiome? Like, what are the things that can alter the normal pH of the vagina and alter the normal health of the vagina? And she listed different things that we can do or humans can do to alter the normal vagina microbiome. And one of it is feminine products. There was this time this particular song was raining, they would say, use alum. And I was sad to see many people on TikTok. Don't mind me that TikTok is my reference, because that's where I see all of these practices being happening. And then that woman was telling them to use alum, to put alum in their private parts, put alum in the vagina so as to make the vagina tight or to make the vagina. How did we get here? All of those things is simply misleading people into doing the wrong thing. You don't need to use alum for your private part. You don't need to put anything. Some will say put chemical. All these things will alter the normal microbiome of the vagina. All these things will also affect. You cannot use all this product and think you will go scot-free, because it will affect the normal functioning of how the vagina should function. So you are not to insert anything. Don't use alum. Don't use any product. Don't use any bleaching. Don't use any chemical. Don't put anything into your vagina. All these things are very, very wrong. Don't do that. In a bid of saying there are feminine products now that people can use to make the vagina smell good, smell better, and look better. Do not use or put anything into the vagina. Then having unprotected sexual intercourse or encounters too can also affect. Yes, today is with Yemi, tomorrow is with David, and that day is another person. All these things too can also alter the natural vagina microbiome. And douching is like introducing chemicals into the vagina. All these things can also alter it. Vagina steaming, you just say you just want to set yourself on you don't want to set the vagina on it. You just want to feel it, then you just light matches. I mean, have you had cases like that people would literally light a matchstick or fire just so that they want to feel warm? So it's like they position themselves in a way that the fire will just keep burning the vagina. It's not like the fire is burning, but the heat from the fire is like getting to the vagina. All these things alter the natural vagina microbiome. How would you sometimes how is it not painful that you just light up fire and say you want your vagina to feel heat or feel hot, and you just open your legs and you just throw yourself there? So douching, vagina steaming, usage of feminine product as well can also alter the normal pH of the vagina. Poor hygiene, like she said earlier, poor hygiene as well, like not washing up after. I mean, don't make it normal that you go to the toilet, either it is to pee or to do the other thing, and you will not wash up immediately. Ensure you wash up after every sexual intercourse as well. Don't make it normal that you just go to bed or just move on. Ensure you clean up. You clean up as well after any sexual intercourse with your partner. Then taking enough fluid, because not taking enough fluid or inadequate hydration as well can also alter the normal the normal microbiome of the vagina. And in the next slide, okay, here is, I believe everyone can see, this is how the vagina should look like. I've had people say, how should the secretion? And if you are a lady and there is no vaginal secretion, then there is something wrong. Every lady, when you pull off your pants, you would see, oh, I think I see Nurse Adeyoju again. I hope the network is stable this time. Let me bring her up. So before she comes up, she's up already, but I hope that the network responds to me. So for every lady, whenever you pull up your pants, Nurse Adeyanju, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
The network is amazing. Okay, so it is also important that after any sexual activity, you pee because that helps your body to flush out bacteria that may have gotten into your vagina. So I want this slide to load, but okay. Okay, so the vagina has it has a pH of it has a pH of 3.8 to 4.5. So that means that your vagina is acidic. So the acidic environment of the vagina helps with it is the one that helps it to cleanse itself. So it does not allow what's it called? It does not allow microorganisms to get in. So it is a toxic environment for microorganisms. And what makes it acidic are the good bacteria that are present in the vagina. Now, there are some practices, there are some trends that people do now. I don't know who brought up the idea that your vagina has to smell like flowers, like really. So there are some practices that disrupt this natural pH. When it is disrupted, it's like you are signing an invite to microorganisms, because now a good microorganisms that are supposed to be there to protect your vagina, you've washed them away. So now we are going to be talking about the things that could alter the natural state of the vagina. So one of them is douching. Now, this douching, what some people do is they will either create a mixture of water and soap and water, or vinegar and water. So they kind of, it's like you are using a pump to flush out. I don't know what they are flushing though, but they are using that solution to wash out the vagina. So in that process of washing out the vagina, you've washed out the good bacteria that are supposed to be protecting the vagina, and now you're leaving the vagina vulnerable to infections. The other thing, this one is even common, is vagina steaming. This vagina steaming is funny because it's the reason why it's funny to me is because it is even painful. I don't know, like why. Anyway, so you for vagina steaming, you're even at risk of burns because of the steam. Now, by doing that as well, you're washing away you're killing the good bacteria inside your vagina. For feminine products, now this one, some people, well, let me say, people that are selling want to sell their market, right? So you'll be the one to know what is good for you, and for you don't need vagina products, like you don't need what vagina wash. You don't need vagina wash for anything. Water is enough to clean yourself. And if you must do extra, the most you can do is to use fragrance soap, a mouth soap to wash off, and that's it. So we have poor hygiene. We've talked that before. Tight clothing and underwear. So if you're wearing tight clothing and tight underwear, you are not giving your VJ the chance to breathe. Like let it breathe. You are breathing. Imagine me obstructing your nose. So yeah, at the same time you're obstructing your vagina. Let it breathe. So for that, the important thing there is to wear loose underwear and cotton made underwear. because the cotton is breathable, so it allows hair, and it has the ability to absorb. So let it breathe. Having more unprotected multiple sexual encounters can also alter the natural vaginal state. And okay. Now the thing is, the male organ itself has its own bacteria. Now imagine having multiple partners and you're unprotected. Now that means you're exposed to the bacterias from these people as well. And now if they have any infection, you can easily contact it as well. Especially if you've done any practice beforehand, like vaginal steaming and douching, you've done that one beforehand, and you're still like having multiple partners. Like that's just it's very easy access to get infected. Now, poor diet and inadequate hydration. I said earlier that you need good diet, especially like you need to take care of your gut health. And for this, what you need to do essentially is to take foods that are rich in prebiotics and probiotics. So, for example of a food that's rich in prebiotics, avocado, and for yogurt. That is like very good to add to your diet. Then hydration, I said before, like you need to take copious amount of fluid, like you really stay hydrated. The same way the water you drink will help your skin stay hydrated. It will help your vagina stay hydrated. Like water is just water is life. I mean, you need to stay hydrated. Now, there are some other things that could also alter the natural state of the vagina, and they are not necessarily practices, but they could also alter. Now, the example of that is medication. Now, if you are taking some medication, especially antibiotics, now antibiotics is to kill. You are taking antibiotics to kill bacteria, but those antibiotics are not. It's like they cannot really differentiate the good and bad bacteria per se. So it's more like when in the process of killing those bad bacteria, they can also kill some good bacteria. So that can alter the state of vagina. Then hormonal changes. The hormonal changes include pregnancy, menstruation, menopause. Now for like when hormonal changes happen, like it could cause a disruption in the natural this thing. For menstruation for example, menstrual blood is alkaline in nature, and I said the vagina itself is acidic. So in that process, it could make the vagina a little alkaline, but it's not like it is a permanent thing. So as soon as you're done with your menstruation, your vagina is also back to normal state. But in that period, during your menstruation, you are prone to infections, so you have to be extra careful to take care of yourself during your periods. So vaginal discharges and its characteristics. So when it comes to discharges, there are lots of. However, only two is normal. Now, if you have vagina, if you have clear discharge is normal. Like it's a sign of healthy vagina, because in the when vagina is washing, it's when it's self-cleansing, it removes dirt in form of discharge. So those healthy vagina was discharge, then it's the sign of healthy vagina. Then it could be a sign of ovulation as well. Then if your discharge is has a tint of yellow with no smell, just like a cream color, it's not clear white, but say with a tint, just a yellow tint or a faint or yellow tint, it also can be normal as long as it is not smelly. Now, gray gray shows a sign of bacterial vaginosis, like it's a sign of infection. pink or red. Now, pink or red is can be normal and can be abnormal. So your period blood is red, but not every red discharge is a period blood. Some could be as a result of underlying conditions like cervical polyps, endometriosis. So if you are bleeding outside, or if you are bleeding between your menstruation, like your menstrual cycle, you're bleeding in between, then it's a sign that you need to you need to see a healthcare practitioner. So if it is yellow or green, it's also a sign of infection. Same with brown, it's also a sign of infection that needs to be checked out. So the when it comes to ovulation, I just want to talk a bit about ovulation, the discharge from ovulation, because well, let's say it's a very important, especially when you want to know your fertile from your non-fertile days. So when you're having a discharge that is dry, or if you're having a discharge that is very sticky, like very thick and sticky, then you are not in your fertile state. But when your discharge, your clear discharge, that one that you have, like say 2 weeks ish to your menstruation, those ones show your fertile. It shows that you're in your fertile window period. So the characteristic is the clear discharge is stretchy, watery, and it's just slimy. That shows the sign of ovulation, and that in that period you can get pregnant. So let me talk about the normal smell. So normal vaginal smell is slight natural odor. It could smell ammonia-like, and it could smell metallic, especially if you're on your period. So because it's metallic. But having a foul smell, a fishy smell, then you need to run to a healthcare provider.
Once again, the network went off. She'll be back soon. Please hold on. She will join in soon.
It is a process, it is a naturally occurring process that happens in the female reproductive system. It is a hormonal process, and it takes about 21 to 35 days body differences. So there are stages to this menstrual cycle. There's the menstruation, follicular, ovulation, and luteal phase. So the menstruation itself is that it's from day one, from the very first day you see your period, that's the menstruation phase till when you stop seeing the period. So that's your that's the bleeding phase. So it usually takes 3 to 5 days. Well, body differences again. But most I think most people it takes like 5 days. And follicular phase. So in this follicular phase, the uterus builds up and the ovary matures. So the body is getting ready, like getting the uterus, I mean the ovary ready to discharge egg. Now, when the ovulation, that is when the mature egg, the egg that was maturing during the follicular phase, that is when it is released into um, that's when it is released from the ovary. Now, the luteal phase. In the luteal phase, when you go through the ovulation phase, when your egg is released, the body is getting itself ready for pregnancy. Your body wants to get pregnant. Okay, so your body is getting itself ready for pregnancy. So in that phase, in that luteal phase, the uterine lining is thickening in preparation for a baby. Yeah, I mean, in preparation for pregnancy. So when you don't get pregnant, that that lining that was formed breaks down along with the egg that was released to, and that is when you have another period because it comes out as blood. And it is very important that you track as a lady because like see it as your monthly report card. Like you need to track your period. And when you're tracking your period, just like I said, from the very first day you see your period, that's your day one. The next time you see your period, the first day you see your next period, that's that the number of days in between shows your cycle, but it might not be a definitive thing. So for you to to track your period, especially if you're trying to get pregnant and you want to know your fertile window, so it's you have to track your period for at least 6 months. So you track your period for 6 months. You know, in the first month could be say 21 days, second month could be 28 days or something like that. So when you track your period, you calculate and you calculate the range of from the period. From there, that is what you use to calculate your fertile window. So let me just brush through that a bit. So from you minus 18 from your shortest circle and you minus 11 from your longest circle. So if your shortest circle is like 24 minus 18, that's 6. Then if your longest is like 30 minus 11, that's 19. So that means from 6 to day 19 of your period, you can get pregnant, and that means it is your fertile window. Then there's this myth again that you cannot get pregnant during your menstruation. Although the chances are slim, but you can research shows that you can actually get pregnant during your period. So if you engage in sexual activity during your period, it is very advisable that you use protection if you're not trying to get pregnant. So let's move to the next slide, menstrual hygiene tips. So menstrual hygiene tips. Okay, now for the tips, the I already mentioned that it is important for you to track your period. Then what you use during your period also matters. You know, you could use the menstrual pads, and you could use tampons. You could use menstrual cups. There are lots of options. So it is important that hand washing is very important for anything, but it's more important when you're on your period and you're trying to clean yourself. Then when it comes to the choice of underwear, I mentioned that it is good or better to wear cotton made cotton underwear because it is actually even more comfortable and it is breathable. So see your health care provider if you're having any issues during your menstruation. Then you should take regular baths to clean yourself up. Now, when it comes to using tampons, you should change at least you should change for all these for menstrual products that you can use. you need to change every 4 to 6, 8 hours. It is important that you change frequently, or should I say, it's important that you change at least at most 8 hours. Now, there's a complication that comes with using tampons. Now, using tampons is not a problem, but there's a complication that comes with using tampons, especially if you're keeping it in for too long. If you're not changing, like say every 6 to 8 hours, it could it could cause a life-threatening condition we call toxic shock syndrome. Now, if you're using tampons, you need to use a tampon that is right for the flu. Let me put it like that, because if you're using a super absorbent tampon, you might tend to want to leave it for a longer time so that it will absorb, and you need to change it, because now it is more invasive than using a pad that is just on your hands. Now, just you're putting it into the vagina, so you need to be more careful with it to prevent toxic shock syndrome. Now, the things that could happen as a result, the symptoms that you could experience as a result of the toxic shock syndrome could include fever, low blood pressure, rashes, muscle pain, headache, and the likes. Now, there are some menstrual symptoms that a lot of people go through, like period pain, period diarrhea, vomiting, bloating, and even mood changes. So when it comes to pain, the thing that is causing the pain is the effect of the uh, hormones. Now, prostaglandin it's helping the uterus to contract to squeeze out the blood from the body, but in that process of trying to getting the uterine muscles to contract and to expel the blood, it could result in pain. Then period diarrhea. So that prostaglandin that acts on the muscle to contract could also act on the bowel. When it acts on the bowel, it can increase the peristaltic movement, like the movement. It's making your bowel kind of in a hurry. I don't know how to really explain the peristalsis now. So it will not allow for absorption. So that's why the food that you eat or that time, the poop comes out watery and like as if you are purging, but it's just a sign of the period diarrhea. So some people also experience vomiting as a result of irritation. Then bloating could also occur as a result of hormonal fluctuations. Now, because of the estrogen, progesterone, it keeps going up and down during the phases of your menstrual cycle. So it's and also cause the bloating. Now, if you're eating salty food during this period, and if you're more stressed, it can also add to the bloating that you experience. Now, mood changes also as a result of the hormonal hormonal fluctuations. So again, if you have during your period, often people experience blood clots. Now, could those blood clots are normal, and like it is little, it is normal, because now it's if you have heavy periods, you could have blood clots on this thing. So okay, those blood clots are as a result of the shedding of uterine lining. So that's, but if the clot is becoming too much, if it is something that is becoming too much, then you might need to see a healthcare provider for that. But generally, blood clots are normal. So then it is important that you self breast examination 2 to 3 days after, because like you can get to know your breast better at that time. So it's good to like perform self breast examination on yourself after your period, 2 to 3 days after your period. Now let's move to vaginal infections and caution. So we mentioned that in some practices and some other things could cause sexually transmitted infections. Now, these infections are smelly, fishy, um, discharge. So, for yeast infection, the commonest thing is also called candida. So, what you could use to know yeast infection, it's whitish same charge. It looks cloudy, and also you can easily spot like a vaginal yeast infection. Then urinary tract infection as well. Now, one of the things that could cause urinary tract infection, if you're washing your if you're washing back to front instead of front to back, you could introduce some microorganisms into your urethra opening as well. That's like, and your vagina. So also cause it could also cause infection. So sexually transmitted infections are also one. So that's why it is very important that you protect yourself. So you need to seek medical help if you're seeing any foul, fishy discharge that is smelly. It's something that you need to report. Please don't self-medicate. Like if you're self-medicating, you will most likely be worsening your situation, because now when it comes to bacterial infections, you need to be sure of the kind of bacteria that is causing your infection. So it's not just that you go and take any antibiotic. What if you are resistant to the antibiotics? You just keep on taking it. So it is better to go to healthcare to run a test and to let them to prescribe. So if you're experiencing itching as well, if you're experiencing excessive extreme dryness, that too should be reported. If you're feeling pain, if you're feeling any burning or any burning sensation while urinating or during sexual activity, you need to report. Then you need to report any abnormal discharge. We already said earlier that your discharge should be, if it is number one, if it is not between, if it's not bleeding between periods, you need to report. If you're experiencing any gray, brown, green, yellow discharge, you need to report, because it could be a sign of infections as well. Now, if you're experiencing vaginal dryness, that one too should be reported to the healthcare provider, because they'll be in the best position to tell you what and what not. And prevention starts with as well. So your diet, avoid processed foods. So you hydration, nutrition, sleep and rest management, and taking supplements. Now, eating healthy is way better than taking supplements, but you could use supplements as well. But it is supplements cannot replace. Supplement does not replace food. The role of supplement is not to replace food, just like the name supplement is to supplement food that you. So part of the supplement things that we mentioned again is like taking probiotics. Like I keep saying probiotics because it's very important. Taking probiotics, like taking omega-3 fatty acids. Those also help. And I think it's just better to prevent, like I said, than to cure. So to reduce. So thank you so much for having me tonight. I hope that I've been able to communicate to your understanding this topic, and I hope that everyone is satisfied. So over to you, next. Okay.
Yay! Thank you so much. Thank you for the amazing
Can you hear
session.
me?
Personally, yes, can you hear me? No, let me just. Okay. Thank you so much, Nurse Adeyanju, for that amazing session. I personally, as a female, I learned a lot, and I know that everyone that listening tonight learned a lot as well. She spoke about feminine hygiene, spoke about body odor, and it's true. It's true. It's true, right? People say when they give birth to you and they don't wash that baby so clean at birth, the baby will smell when they grow up. And I think it's just a myth. And she also mentioned not just using deodorant to just cover up the smell, because deodorant will not cover up the smell. She mentioned exfoliating, she mentioned moisturizing, then she mentioned you using deodorant after you've done the exfoliating, moisturizing, and the proper cleaning. So don't just say perfume is an escapade into you not smelling so bad. So just get perfume and just spray. Ensure you follow the right process, then you apply the deodorant. She also spoke about things that can alter. She mentioned the normal pH of the vagina. And please, I'm begging every lady that is listening to me tonight, do not apply any harmful product. Don't say you want it to smell like. I don't know when people started saying the vagina is to smell like flowers, like strawberry and vanilla. The vagina will never smell like scented flowers. To never smell like perfume. So please do not let people um pitch lies to you and sell bad products to you, all of the disguise of you want your vagina to smell like strawberry and ice cream and vanilla. So the vagina is a self-cleansing organ. It cleanses itself, and all you can do is just to use water. And do not forget, whenever you visit the restroom, either to pee or to do the other thing, ensure you clean your from the vagina down to the anus, not anus down to vagina, to prevent that area from getting infected as well. She also mentioned different things, kind of food you can eat, stay hydrated. Stay hydrated and ensure that if you perhaps notice anything wrong, it's okay to just reach out to the medical personnel or go to the hospital. And during the period as well, you do not expect that the vagina will smell as if you were not on your period, because the shall I say, the blood that comes out during menstruation also has its own smell. It's not supposed to be a fishy smell though, but if the pad stays too long, it can smell beyond the normal way that it should smell. So adhere to the 8 hours changing of pad. Have your bait. Do not put on underwear that will be too tight. She mentioned cotton, so that allow the vagina to breathe as well. Allow hair to enter. These are things that can actually cause odor. So as long as you follow through, you have your bait before you sleep, change your underwear, put on a light nightwear as well. Breeze. Allow breeze to enter your body. As long as you follow through, I believe that she would have, shall I say, a healthy feminine lifestyle and all those things. And I say again, because I've seen it on TikTok many times, they will say use alum, use alum. Don't join them all. Don't follow them to use alum. Anything your eyes see, you go take them. All right, I see something. Oriflame feminine wash. Well, I'm not yet trying to paint anybody's what is it called, anybody's market bad, but Nurse Adeyanju also mentioned that there are some mild soap that are not that strong that can be used. mild soap that not that strong that can be used. But trust me, okay, don't trust me, but the vagina cleanses itself, and it's just best to use water. But if you're going to use soap, it can be a very mild soap. But this Oriflame feminine wash, I don't really know much about it. I don't know what the ingredients are, but I believe that Oriflame is a global product, and they would not come up with something that would be harmful. Does Nurse Adeyonju want to say something about that? Oh, she's not here anymore. She's not here anymore. I don't want to pitch anything against Oriflame, but please, 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 as long as there is no vaginal issue or it was not recommended to you by a medical professional, just use your soap. And if what's come to us, just use a mild, just use your water, or if what's come to us, a mild soap to clean. You're good. Don't let anyone tell you it has to smell otherwise. As long as there's no foul smell, no fishy odor, please, you're good to go. And eat well, taking lots of fluids, stay hydrated, taking lots of water, then you are very good to go. Do we have questions tonight? Thank you once again, Osade Yonju. I learned a lot. That's making a recap. Thank you so much. It was an amazing session. I was just taking note and saying, thank you so much. And now there are menstrual cups, there are tampons. I don't know. I think someone was telling me there has always been tampons. I said, I didn't know about that. I'm just hearing tampons now. And me as a female, I'm still scared of using tampons. But if you use a tampon, it's totally fine. Just to ensure that you don't insert it too deep, and ensure that you bring it out when you're supposed to bring it out. Don't let it overstay in the vagina. And if you use the menstrual cup as well, just be very careful. Both menstrual cup, tampon, just be very careful and just ensure that you are safe and you are fine. Do we have any question tonight? Any question before we call it a day? Any question? In the absence of none, I would believe that everything said was well understood. And I sincerely want to say a very big thank you. Thank you to every listener, every subscriber, every watcher that has been here since 8 p.m. that we came on live. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. So everyone that keeps on sharing the post, sharing the link, God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for supporting Health Talk with Kemi. And I am so grateful. And I hope that you learned a lot tonight. Thank you for always being here. If there is no question, we would call it a night. Let me bring up once again the Unpack Tuesday. I mentioned this earlier. If you've been interested in just unwinding after a very long day, join us every Tuesday right here on YouTube. We'll have Unpack Tuesday. We'll have Unpack Tuesday where as long as you are willing to come up, we'll just bring you up. We'll just gist, relax together. Nothing medical, nothing else, nothing too serious. Just young adult gisting and sharing life lessons together. So if you've been interested, please just send a DM and I'll be glad, in fact, more than glad to have you on board this Tuesday. Thank you so much, everyone. I say thank you once again for being here with us tonight. God bless you. Thank you for being a part of Feminine Health Uncovered. And Nurse Adeyonju, I say a very big thank you. Thank you for honoring this invite and thank you for showing up with your A game. Thank you so much, everyone. Do not leave this live session without subscribing to the YouTube channel. And I will see you the very next time, hopefully this month. God bless you. Keep being you. My ladies, let's do what we know how to do best. Ensure you stick to all the rules, all the ideas, teachings that was said tonight. God bless you. And till I see you again, take good care of yourself. Love you. Bye-bye. I just got a question now. I didn't see it before. Okay, the question is it okay to wear underwear overnight? Sorry, I just got that. No, it's not okay. It's not okay to wear underwear at night. Your body has been underwear since morning. Now it's night. Let's breathe. Enter. So it's not okay to put on underwear. In fact, it's very advisable. Even if you are going to put on a pajama shirt, like the trouser or the pajamas, ensure it's light. You don't want to be putting on something that is too thick again. Ensure it's light. So it's easier. When people just want air to enter their air, the same way you should also want air to enter the vagina and the private part. Just let it breathe, as Nurse Adeyon just said. So no, do not put on underwear overnight. Do not put that on as well. Don't do that. Just be very free. Expose yourself to the air. and just let the hair be there. So I hope that answers the question. Thank you so much. And for the Oriflame Feminine Wash, if you've read the ingredients and it does not seem harsh or seem like something you can put in the private parts, it's okay to not. But if it seems like it's something you can use, it's okay to do that as well. Thank you so much, everyone. God bless you.